All right, I'm live. I just realized I didn't mute myself on YouTube. Now I did. 30-second delay. All right, I'll be honest. I really don't know what I'm going to say here. So last night I had a more comprehensive preview because I had the time. Today I've been producing videos from last night's debate, so this is kind of thrown together a little quickly. But let's take a look at the candidates that'll be on stage. I will say this debate is a little less exciting than the last debate simply because of, there's no Bernie or Warren on stage. That's pretty much why. But let me show you who is on stage. So we got here night two. So Michael Bennett, Gillibrand, Castro, Booker, Biden, Harris, Yang, Gabbard, Inslee, and de Blasio. Now, this is a lot of the hype around this debate is Biden, Kamala 2.0. What's going to happen? Is Biden going to have something planned for Harris? Is Harris going to be able to match up to her last debate? I couldn't care less about either of these candidates, but the problem is they are important just in terms of the polling and in terms of their obvious sway over voters right now. So Biden in most polls is polling in first, and Harris in most polls is polling in third or fourth from what I've seen. Now, let me show you, actually. So I did this quickly yesterday. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to go over the rules. You all know the rules. 30 seconds to respond, 60-second answers, all the same crap. No hands up questions, none of that weird stuff from the NBC debates. But there is, so let me show you, that's what the polling. So let me go down here in the little corner. All right, let me show you a poll that I found kind of interesting. Is this the one? Yeah. I found this eye-opening. This is an Emerson poll from the 30th. Landline primary. So when you call people on the landline, Biden way ahead, 43%. Then Warren, Sanders, and Harris bringing up the rear. But the non-landline primary, so cell phones, I imagine, Sanders way ahead of Biden and everybody else. This is the real division here. The division is age. If you're still answering a landline phone, it's very likely you are a little older. And all the data displays that. If you are an older voter, you are more likely to support Joe Biden. And if you're a younger voter, you're more likely to support Bernie Sanders. This primary is going to completely depend on voter turnout. If the young people come out to vote, Biden has a very good chance at losing, and Sanders has a really good chance at winning. Now, look, every year people say that, the young people have to come out to vote, but no, this time for serious. If you are young, if you say you have friends, but they're not following this stuff, you have to talk to them. Make sure they are registered in their state. Make sure they know when the voting day is. Make sure they know all of that. Make sure they understand who the candidates are. Make sure they understand how Sanders is the, one of two candidates main candidates not taking big donor money. Warren isn't, but every time I say that, I also have to remind people she said that she would in the general election if she were to win the nomination, which I think is just completely stupid. But I don't want to talk too much about the candidates from last night. Let's get back to this insanity here. So I'm going to try to go down this list of people, but there are some of them I just have nothing to say. Michael Bennett. So Michael Bennett. I'm looking for my notes here. Michael Bennett. All right. Colorado Senator. Michael Bennett. Yeah. I have nothing to say about Michael Bennett. I don't care about Michael Bennett. I'm afraid that a lot of these candidates that have zero effect on this race, like Michael Bennett, will have way too much time to talk, like is what happened last night with some idiot like John Delaney. Delaney, spoke way too much for someone who's polling at best at 1%. I hope that doesn't happen again tonight, unless it's some of the other candidates. So, I mean, if you get Bill de Blasio, let's do Bill de Blasio next. So Bill de Blasio, even though he's not polling very well, I wouldn't mind him speaking up a little bit more. If he spoke as much as Delaney did last night, that'd be awesome. I don't see it happening, but it's very possible that it's possible in the sense that for some reason they're focusing on a lot of the smaller candidates, but it's not possible in the sense that CNN is not going to give a progressive, or at least rhetorically a progressive like de Blasio, that much speaking time. So I don't expect Bill de Blasio to get that much speaking time. I do expect Bill de Blasio to interject as a way to get himself into the conversation a little bit more. I hope he does that as often as he did last time. I thought he had a great performance in that first debate. I'm hoping for that again for Bill de Blasio. Again, this is less about Bill de Blasio's actual chance at winning the nomination. I don't think he has any chance at winning the nomination, but it's to ensure the progressive message and progressive policy is being pushed out there. And also on top of that, making sure that these moderates and these fake progressives get put in their place. If Bill de Blasio can do that, maybe have a moment even against Kamala Harris would be awesome, though I don't see him going after Kamala Harris. That'd be great. But if he goes after like Joe Biden, that'd be awesome. Talk about Biden's record. Bring that up. Bill de Blasio here, I think, has the potential to really change the conversation if he is able to interject into these questions. Next up here, Kirsten Gillibrand. Again, she has a constituency. I don't know who it is. I really don't. I mean, this is why she's falling off the side of the debate stage at this point. Who's supporting Kirsten Gillibrand? Why would you support Kirsten Gillibrand? In some ways, I almost feel bad for her. I mean, the last debate, it felt like she was trying to say things and it just wasn't hitting. To me, she comes off as inauthentic. That could just be my read, but I don't. Again, you look at her history. I've done entire breakdowns. This is somebody who used to be a Blue Dog Democrat. Now she's pretending to be a progressive. She, leading up to this for the past 2 years, has voted against like every single thing Trump has voted for to try and, I guess, separate herself from the pack, or at least try to turn her record around in that sense, where she used to be a more conservative Democrat. Now she's trying to be more of a fighter. It just hasn't hit. And this will likely be the last time we see Gillibrand on the debate stage. And, if you told me this a year ago, I thought Gillibrand would make top 6. I don't think she will. So she's completely fallen off. Let's get to Jay Inslee. So Jay Inslee had an okay showing in the last debate. But again, a lot of these people are just forgettable. There's too many people on stage for somebody who has no name recognition to get their name out there. So if you think back to 2016, part of the reason Bernie was able to get so much attention, at least in the sense where he was allowed attention eventually when it came to the discussion or the primary against Hillary Clinton, was because there wasn't that many people in the discussion. I mean, the very first debate had, 5 of them? Something like that. So from the start, it was already way narrowed down to a group of people where you could actually focus on each of the candidates. So Bernie, because he had a fantastic message, was able to separate himself from the pack. And also, I mean, using his record, seeing old Bernie clips showed us that this is somebody who was actually genuine and a real fighter. But when you have 20 people in the race, even if you're a fantastic candidate, you're a standout person, it's hard to stand out when you have that many people on stage. So I just, even though Jay Inslee may not be the worst guy in the world, he also isn't anybody's first choice. I don't think he's really going to last in this race all that much longer. Let's get to Castro. So Castro had a surprisingly strong outing in the first debate. I think that's going to continue. I think actually coming out of this debate, Castro is going to be one of the people that the media is talking about. I think he's going to have some solid responses. He's going to potentially have a moment like he did against Beto in the first debate where let's see who he possibly could go after on this stage. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's one of the things that at least the CNN moderators were trying to kind of facilitate in the debate yesterday, and the NBC moderators as well. They were trying to start fights between candidates, and that actually is beneficial for the candidate that comes out of that fight as a victor. So if you're able to engage another candidate, maybe on their record on an issue like Castro did against Beto, or at least how he was responding to Beto in terms of what Beto was saying on the stage there. Castro was able to do that last time. Possibly he could do that this time. I'm not sure with what candidate he would do that against. But that's what all these candidates are kind of hoping for. They're hoping for that moment where they can shine in a exchange like that. It just depends on if they'll have the moment to be able to do that. But I do think Castro will have a strong showing. I just don't, again, I don't really care about Castro. But there's just, yeah, there's too many candidates. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, I think she has to, at some point, bring up the fact that she is suing Google, and she'll bring up the threat of big tech and make that an issue. I think she'll potentially have the ability to make a moment for herself in that case. I don't think she's going to be able to stomp somebody like she did, seeing who else is here, stomp somebody like she did Tim Ryan last time. Yeah, unless it's like Michael Bennett. I mean, Michael Bennett could kind of be anybody's punching bag on the stage here. But yeah, if it gets to foreign policy and Tulsi has the potential to, or the ability to discuss, American intervention and all the history and all the destruction America has caused in that sense, that may help her as well. She was the most searched candidate after her first debate. I don't think that will be the case this time, but I could be wrong. I actually think, if we're going to go to the next person here, I think Andrew Yang might come out of this as the most searched candidate. Because last time he only had 3 minutes to speak. His mic, I guess, was kind of apparently muted at points, but I think that also happened to other candidates on stage as well. But because he only had 3 minutes last time, he didn't really have the ability to try and gain any traction. He disappointed, I think, a lot of people in that first debate. Again, I don't care about Yang, but he has a lot of supporters, at least online. So he has the potential here to actually make some space for himself, say something that connects, say something that's unique. Sure, talk about your UBI, do something that, and again, it's not even just about the policy. It's about performance. Can he deliver on a stage with 9 other candidates? Can he deliver a moment that people are going to be talking about afterwards? He has the potential here because he's unknown. He has the potential to really say something that sticks with people. I think he will. I could be wrong. I think because he disappointed last time, I think he's going to try and bring it this time. Let's get to Booker. Cory Booker. I almost don't even know what to say about Cory Booker. He's somebody I just don't. When he talks, he's inauthentic. To me, he's very much like Kirsten Gillibrand in that regard. When he speaks, I don't understand how people truly believe that he believes what he is saying. I mean, ever since he voted against that bill to to import drugs from Canada, cheaper pharmaceuticals from Canada, and we saw because he had all this money, taking all this money in from Big Pharma, and then all of a sudden when he was caught about that, you guys are right. I should have known. Yeah, I'm no longer taking money from Big Pharma. Like this is one of these guys that he'll do the right thing, at least publicly, if he's caught. But if he could get away with it, he's just going to be a typical politician, taking money, do favors. So Cory Booker, I don't have much time for. I'm sure he'll he'll do fine. I'm sure rhetorically he'll sound well. He always has well-formulated answers normally. He's well-spoken, so I think he'll perform well. But will he be able to have a moment where he actually gets people talking afterwards? And I don't know. But he has, look, with Biden in between Booker and Harris, there's the potential here for kind of like a tag team, the way that Bernie and Warren went after everybody else yesterday. So I could potentially see Booker here kind of butting up with Kamala Harris to attack Joe Biden. I think there's a potential there, especially, look, when you are the leader, as Joe Biden is, all these candidates are going to likely try and have their moment against Joe Biden, because that's what's going to make headlines. That's what's going to make clips, is if you're going after the leader and you're able to successfully land a blow on him. I think it's possible that Booker will be able to do that. I just have a hard time judging people that I don't care for at all. So even if Booker has that moment, I don't care. But he may have that moment and it may stick. Who we got? Kamala Harris. All right. So I guess let's just go down to business here. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. It's what I guess everybody's waiting for. I don't really care, but it's what some people are waiting for. There's no way. I shouldn't say no way. There's less of a chance, or how should I phrase this? There's not as great of a chance of Kamala Harris doing as well as she did last time this time. Because Kamala Harris so effectively took Joe Biden down last time, I just don't know how she matches up to that this time. I don't know what she could possibly pull out. And I think there's actually potentially a chance here for Joe Biden to land a blow on Kamala Harris. But he has to be super careful. He has to bring up, like, her record. He has to bring up something that he can't be implicated in as well, because they both have pretty bad records. But if he goes into Kamala Harris locking up the parents of truant kids, if Biden does that, and I think he may do that, because that's kind of his best chance here to actually get Harris back, then that's going to be a boon for Joe Biden. And he can potentially maintain the support that he has. I mean, I was saying this. I know a lot of people were saying this. I think like around September, October, we kind of expect Joe Biden to fall off. But if he's able to perform well in this debate, it may be enough to maintain him. And people may imagine, oh, if he can do this to Kamala Harris, well, he can definitely do this to Donald Trump. So that's what I'm kind of worried about. I want to see what else. So I saved some tabs here. Let me go in the corner of stuff that I want to discuss. Oh yeah, this. So this is actually a pretty good piece here from Slate. They go over the questions. This will kind of give you an idea of what to expect from the questions tonight as well. A lot of the questions last night were from a right-wing frame. Here are some of the highlights of that right-wing framing. What is your response to Congressman Delaney, who says Medicare for all is political suicide? Like, unbelievable. He's like, oh my God. Do you believe Medicare for all is political suicide? Do you agree with Senator Sanders when it comes to raising taxes on the middle class to pay for Medicare for all? I mean, the framing on these questions, it's like they were written by Sean Hannity. This stuff is absurd. Are you not willing to fight for Medicare for all, as Senator Warren has suggested? This is simply trying to start a fight. They're going to definitely be questions, as I said, trying to instigate a fight between two candidates. That will happen again multiple times. What was this one? Can you guarantee benefits under Medicare for all? What will be as good as the benefits union members fought to negotiate? Again, stupid framing. This is as I said in my video discussing this question, this is the only time that CNN has ever defended unions. When does CNN defend unions? They don't, but they will do it if it means they get to attack a progressive policy like Medicare for all. So there's going to be very similar questions to this right-wing framing tonight as well. Would you give health insurance to undocumented immigrants? That one's, I don't know. Do you believe guaranteeing migrant-free health care? Yeah, all this stuff. They're trying to make healthcare scary. And also, it's funny how all the questions were kind of directed at or framed from Sanders. Like, do you believe... Isn't Sanders so crazy far left? How far left is he? That's kind of what all of this is. Yeah. Do you believe Senator Sanders is too extreme to beat Trump? Well, you tried the opposite last time with Hillary Clinton. Didn't work out too well. That question should be dead in the water just on that point alone. Look at the results 2016. There's something else I wanted to get to. Oh, yeah. So this went out a few days ago, but this is sort of the, I guess, the inside knowledge from the Washington Post, at least the main points here. So, these last two we kind of already dealt with. But Biden practiced criticizing rivals. So if this is the case, look for Joe Biden to criticize rivals, and I do think he's going to try and land a blow on Kamala Harris for obvious reasons. Oh, yeah. Also, when talking about Kamala Harris, healthcare is going to come up, and she's going to pretend her healthcare plan is, I got a progressive plan, but at the same time, if you want your private insurance, well, you also have that, so everybody wins. She's going to try and play this role where she is actually the pragmatic progressive. Oh, it's still Medicare for all, but there's just some private insurance too. No big deal. And unless you have someone like Bill de Blasio out there, or I don't see Gabbard doing it because Gabbard wasn't really pushing Medicare for all last time. But Bill de Blasio was really the only one I think on this stage that can really frame this correctly. It would be fantastic if he takes down Kamala Harris's BS Medicare for all plan. I have a whole breakdown video on her bullshit plan, so watch that if you want more information. But here is a recap of the back and forth backtracking on Medicare for all.
You don't have to go through the process of going through an insurance company, having them give you approval, going through the paperwork, all of the delay that may require. Who of us has not had that situation where you got to wait for approval and the doctor says, well, I don't know if your insurance company is going to cover this? Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
Exactly.
We were together.
Yes.
And you'll remember, and roll the tape, please.
Yeah, we can roll the tape. Well, you support the Bernie Sanders bill, which essentially gets rid of insurance.
I support Medicare for all, but I really do need to clear up what happened on that stage.
Okay.
It was in the context of saying, let's get rid of all the bureaucracy. Let's get all of the ways.
Oh, not the insurance companies.
No, that's not what I meant. I know it was interpreted that way. If you watch the tape, I think you'll see that there are obviously many interpretations of what I said.
Let's not be duped by a messaging campaign that has been waged for years by the insurance companies to have you into believing that you need to defend them. You need to defend yourself. Do you know what? 91% of the doctors are in Medicare. So the idea and the suggestion they're trying to make to you is really a false one. You will be able to have your doctor. 91% of them are in the Medicare system.
Who here would abolish their private health insurance in favor of a government-run plan? Yes. All right.
So you saw the hand up by Kamala Harris, but then she sort of clarified that response this morning on Morning Joe.
Do you believe that private insurance should be eliminated in this country?
No.
You don't?
But
you raised your hand last night.
But the question was, would you give up your private insurance for that option? And I said yes.
Oh, I think you heard it differently than others then.
Probably.
The role of private insurance, are you limiting that to something like cosmetic insurance? Or what is the exact role of private insurance?
To cover what is not otherwise covered.
So that includes what?
Very little, because almost everything will be covered.
So then how does this plan differ from what Senator Sanders is proposing?
I think that they're very similar. I don't know that they're, I don't think that, I'm supporting his bill. So to the extent that he's talking about his bill, I don't know what else he's talking about.
Okay. How dishonest is Kamala Harris? And something I've noticed, she doesn't always do this, but oftentimes when she's lying or when she's caught in a awkward situation where she has to kind of explain something, she'll laugh. Now, look, as somebody who laughs all the time, like right now, I get that. That's a thing. that some people do. But some people do it when they're lying. Kamala Harris, I've noticed, does that when she's lying, when she has to explain something. So look for, if you see Kamala Harris laughing tonight on stage, it's probably because she's caught in a lie or caught in having to explain something because she was dishonest about it before. So, yeah, I don't know why you would support somebody who so obviously is on multiple sides of so many issues, somebody who co-sponsored the Medicare for All bill and now doesn't actually support Medicare for All. Just to go over the points that I remember, so I did a breakdown a few days ago. Her plan is a transition over 10 years as opposed to a Medicare for All transition over 4 years like Bernie's bill or 2 years like Jayapal's bill. Her plan also includes private insurance. So you have Medicare Advantage right now that serves seniors, and it's basically, there's reporting saying it screws people. Again, this is all in my video, but that Medicare Advantage screws people, and she wants to expand that screwing to everybody else in the country. I don't know how her bill would work. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, she wants to have private insurance to be allow private insurers to deliver the same coverage under Medicare for All, but how would they do that unless they're making money off that? And if they're making money off it, then what's the government Medicare for All? Like, it really, the whole thing does not make a lot of sense. But she's going to try and sell it, so be ready for that. All right, if there's any super chats, I will take them. This is not going to be as long of a stream as it was yesterday, but let me check if there are super chats. Again, I have to dive into the controls, or maybe I can go right here. No, I can't. Like, the funny thing is, there may not even be super chats, but I have to go through all this work just to see if there are super chats. There are. Okay. Cool. I just saw the Progressive Voice super chat. Dude, you're hilarious. Let me first start with the first one that came in. It's from Nico Romolius. Super chat, blank message. Again, if you send a link, it doesn't show up for me, but if you just send a super chat with no message, thank you very much. Stacy Lamb, $10, very generous super chat, no message there either. Rob Z, $2 super chat, thank you. Hashtag Tulsi. For tonight, we'll see what happens. Krugzug, super chat. I hope Tulsi attacks Biden on past military votes. You know what? That would be solid if Tulsi Gabbard went after Biden on the Iraq War, for example, as a veteran. Like, yeah, that's a great point. If Tulsi can do something like that, that would actually, I think, help her a lot and could really hurt Joe Biden. Progressive Voice asks, has Nico House given you your Nintendo Switch back? He's developed this entire narrative where Nico House borrowed my Nintendo Switch. I don't even know Nico at all, but that's very funny. But I guess, yeah, he gave it back since I have it. So I will actually be doing some Twitch streaming probably this weekend. I'm trying to make it a more regular thing now. Actually, if you're on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheRationalNational, follow me, maybe subscribe, and I'll be doing more on Twitch. DJ Al Gore, that's a great name. Super chat, John Delaney defending TPP has to be one of the dumbest political calculations I've ever seen. Good luck winning the Rust Belt with that BS. 100%. Actually, I should have talked about that in my breakdown. That's a good point. That was the entire night for John Delaney was terrible. He got destroyed by Warren, by Bernie. He destroyed himself with the TPP answer. Yeah, man, John Delaney is such a horrible candidate, not a good person. He made hundreds of millions of dollars in private healthcare and now doesn't want you to have healthcare under Medicare for All. He's just a horrible guy. All right, this question from Artificial Morphisman. Tonight, it's Tulsi against the establishment. I think Bill de Blasio is fairly solid. Again, de Blasio has some issues in his record, but when he's on that stage, as we saw last time, he is solid. So if he can just have that performance again, that'd be great as well. But so you say Tulsi, it's Tulsi against the establishment. She could take down Harris and Biden at the same time. That'd be great. If she calls their corporate asses out. Yeah, that's also a good point. Bring up big money in politics. Bring up how these candidates, Biden, Harris, are funded by special interest donors. Nicholas Smith. Hey, bro, can you add me on Switch? LOL. You know what? I don't think I have any friends on Switch. I don't really play. I don't know anybody on Nintendo Switch. But yeah, sure. I don't know what your name is. I'll add people, though. But I'll do it on my Twitch stream. So when I actually am playing a game and I'm on Twitch, if you follow me on Twitch, you'll be notified when I go live. And if you want to be in the chat and tell me your screen name, sure, I'll add you. Robbie Lopez, thoughts on Yang? So I talked a bit about him earlier. Am I still down here? I meant to bring myself back up. All right. I talked about Yang earlier, but I think he'll do better than last time. So I think I actually said he'll be the most searched candidate after this debate. I do think that's true. He is not very well known, and he has, I think, a solid potential here to have a little more time than he did last time on this debate stage. So I think Yang will do a little bit better than he did last time, and it will be enough to get him some more attention than he got in that first debate. But I'm not a Yang supporter. Again, there's no reason to play any of these games. It's Bernie Sanders. Bernie has the 40-year record. Bernie has the votes. Back in the early 90s, he was fighting back against NAFTA. No other candidate can say that. I mean, you have Bernie up there. Imagine Bernie up there against Trump on trade issues. Forget about it. So whether it's whether it's Bernie being a consistent force against intervention, against war, whether it's Bernie and healthcare, Bernie on income inequality, go down the list. This is not a competition. The only problem is the media does not present these candidates fairly. They don't talk about how, hey, maybe because Bernie's one of the only candidates in the race not taking any big donor money, and the fact that he has the most volunteers by far, the most donations by far, the most individual donors by far, that maybe this is a force and he is building a real movement here that can take on Donald Trump. But they don't talk about him in that sense. They only talk about him to smear him, to smear his policies, talk about how he's too far left, which is absurd if you look at Bernie on a more, worldwide scale. That's why there's any competition in this race at all right now, because the media is being dishonest. There is one candidate you can truly trust on these issues, has been a consistent fighter against special interests, against the powerful, against concentrated wealth, and that's Bernie Sanders. It's not even close. All right. I want to get out of here soon, but I'll take all the super chats that are coming up, and once there's no more, I will get off. There's a lot more. Cool. Freebie Man 104. You have a phenomenal chin. Thank you. You know what? Nobody's actually ever told me that before. That is quite an interesting comment or compliment, but thank you. Open Mind with a Y. Yang Gang, let's get it tonight. Freedom dividend. Sure, there you go. I'm sure he'll bring that up. I don't want to go into a whole thing on Yang's UBI right now, but I wish it was in addition to the existing welfare state and not replacing it. That creates a whole set of new issues that Yang is not ready to deal with. Rennie Swade, or Swade, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message, but thank you. Saridi Ahmed Yahia, should a Marshall Plan be the way to leave the Middle East? I don't know. I got to think about this. I honestly have no idea. The Progressive Voice, do you play Smash? We should play I Suck. I thought you told me that you're good. I'll play you. I'm like mediocre at Smash. I was actually really good at the GameCube one, but yeah, I'll play you in Smash Progressive Voice. You know what? That would actually be a good Twitch stream. Progressive Voice versus David Dole in Smash. But we also have to add some other games into that mix. Don't just leave it at Smash. Rob Z, thank you for the super chat. All right. Let me do one more refresh here. Artificial Morphs Man again. Artificial Morphous Man. People even in de Blasio's own district in New York urged him not to run for president. Yeah. When de Blasio announced his run, I was not happy. You can actually probably go back and read some tweets from me back then when he launched. I just don't see why he's in the race. But that said, he's been great on the debate, or at least on the one debate he was in. He was fantastic. So if he can continue that up, then that'd be fantastic. Oh, someone just reminded me in the chat, Aiden Pond, the copyright strike. Yeah, so I'm not, hope you guys don't think I'm live streaming the debate. I'm not. I'm getting out of here before the debate, because anyone that live streamed that debate last night, David Pakman did, Majority Report did, they got a copyright strike. They were taken down. I'm not live streaming the debate. I'm going to watch the debate and then cover it tomorrow. But there are some Twitch streams that are covering it. So Majority Report will be doing it again. Maybe Hassan's doing it again. I know he did it last night. I'm not sure who else is streaming it on there. But there will be ways to watch the debate, just not on YouTube. But you did remind me of the copyright strike that I got today. So I did a breakdown video. Let me show you a little bit without actually playing it. I did a breakdown video on, obviously, on the debate. This video, stop right there. I don't want this to get a copyright strike too. This video, copyright strike. I have never received in the past a copyright strike on any clips I've used from CNN in all the time I've been doing this in my 3 years or so on this channel. Never gotten a copyright strike from CNN. I did on this, even though this wasn't live streamed. This was a pre-planned video. I just used clips. It's simple. I mean, this falls under fair use. So you can use, legally, I can use these clips and put it in these videos. But I got a copyright strike. And YouTube's whole process for dealing with this is absurd. Because right now, this video is completely demonetized, meaning that even CNN isn't making any money on it. But if it was monetized, then after the copyright dispute process goes through, and say I come out winning the dispute, because obviously legally it's on my side, then I would be able to take in all the revenue that video had made while it was up. But because it's not, I have no control over the ads at all on this video because of the copyright strike. So I spent a long time on this video. I mean, I was making notes last night when any clip came up that I wanted to use in this breakdown. I was making notes about it. Today, obviously, all day I was spending on this. 24-minute breakdown of this video. Demonetized because of a copyright strike. So if you want to support the channel, hey, here you go. It's the best way to do it. therationalnational.com/join. All these links are also below this video. Or donate directly for a one-time donation at paypal.me/DavidDole. Or you can also go on Twitch and subscribe to me there, or hit the join button and become a member here. But that's it. All right, let me just make sure I get all the super chats before I get out of here, and then get ready to watch this debate. Crimson Sage, does Medicare for All cover transitioning? I think it does, yeah. Yeah, it totally does. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Is that you will have the healthcare that you need, you get. So, like, There was a surgery that I had that I'm not going to get into detail, but it was sort of a cosmetic surgery, kind of, but it was something I needed, and yeah, completely covered under our Canadian healthcare system. Transitioning should, I don't know the details actually of that in Canada, but I imagine it's covered. I don't know why it wouldn't be. So yeah, totally it should be covered. Not to mention as well, abortion covered. That was a point that came up briefly in that first debate. So yeah, these are actually other points that should be brought up when discussing Medicare for All, because I think that will help to really give people an idea of how truly comprehensive this coverage would be if you were to pass a Medicare for All system. Rob Z, you could live stream your thoughts in this format. I could, but it'd be weird. You wouldn't see the debate on screen. You wouldn't even hear it. I'd have to wear headphones so you couldn't hear it. Otherwise, the copyright would detect it. And yeah, it just wouldn't make a lot of sense. You'd have to somehow match up my commentary with the debate without seeing it on screen. Yeah, the whole thing, it sounds too complicated. There's no reason to live stream it. Nihil Rashida. I'm really bad at pronunciations. But super chat, thank you. I don't see a message, but thank you for the donation. All right. I think we're winding down now. I don't see any more. Let me just jump in the chat. Sometimes he's coming late. Okay, cool. No more. All right. I will say, though, now that I got you all here, I am going to, when there's going to be Canadian debates starting, I will be live streaming those on Twitch. I thought about that today. I can't trust YouTube and their BS, but I will live stream that stuff on Twitch. I imagine nobody else is really going to be covering the Canadian election or the Canadian debates, but I'll cover that stuff. So, yeah, look out for that. A new super chat just came in from David Newen. I think it would be fun if Biden went after Harris's prosecutor record. Harris brings up Anita Hill or something, and they both rip each other apart. That'd be great, too. I think an easier one for Biden to go after would be the putting parents in jail for truancy, for their kids' truancy. But, yeah. All right. I think that was the same one that came in twice. All right, just going to finish up the super chats. Thanks again, David Newen. And that's it. All right. Awesome. Have a fantastic debate, whatever that means. I know I am. It's going to be fun. This one's going to be a little more entertaining in the sense that I don't have to actually care about the candidates on stage. So I get to just kind of sit back and enjoy the fight or the entertainment. All right. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.